So I'm back. Did a little bit of sightseeing just then. And yeah, this is Haiti. I flew in here almost flew in here this morning with the longitude, and it crashed on the way in at about a mile final. So, it had a null pointer exception, is what it had. So I'm going to try it in the TBM instead. Besides, I want to see if I know more about this airplane, so it would be more interesting for me to try out some of these systems and give the airplane a fair shake. I know less about the G3000 than I do the G1000, and I don't know. I'm still making adjustments, still trying to um, get myself acclimated to the sim and to the changes in the airplanes. The longitude, I don't even know what speeds to fly the airplane at, to be honest. So it's just a crapshoot. So. All right. And okay, so let's go to PFD and timers, right? Yep. And start. All right. And starter. 1001, 1002. Oh, the friggin' fuels. Oh. See if it lets me get away with this. It's very weird, the throttle in this thing. I don't have any reasonable way to control it right now. All right. It was pretty nice to me. It let me do that. So let's. Oh, I didn't expect that. Okay, so let's have a look up here. Starter ignition is on. Aux fuel pump is on. I'm on the left tank. I've got plenty of gas.
Oral warning, okay.
Parking brake is on. Oil pressure, of course. Should I try it again? Let's try it again. Okay, so let's reset the timer. Stop. Reset. And start. Alright, go here. Awesome, 1002. Okay, we got oil pressure. NG is coming up. I like it to get a little bit higher. Oh, I can't use my controls. 30 by, just barely by 30. Okay. And starter and ignition are cut out. Let's see if it does it again. Oh, it's better this time. Inertial separator on. This has better click spots than the, at least some of the click spots. See, they should use one click spot for up, another, and the same click spot for down. Left, right mouse. Stop. Reset. MFD. Click that. Touchscreen over here, not over here. is on. Good. It'll be interesting to see how it handles the inertial separator, if it handles it at all. Hey, Bill. Hey, just wanted to watching your Cessna flight. Didn't finish, so you were on live. Yes, this is most definitely not the hot start. No, it's... And thank God, because quite honestly, my controls are... I mean, just trying to control this throttle is... it's going to take some getting used to. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous about flying the TBM because I'm so used to how the hot start works, and if I start redefining my habits in this airplane, just for this airplane, it may not be so good. You know, because if I start doing the things that I'm doing with my throttle in the hot start, it will, it may select a finger and point it at me. That works. I want these idiotic messages to go away. You know, I don't want to see those. I hope they add an option for that. I like the sounds in this thing, though. Even though I can't open the door. Does the throttle feather work? Well, by hand, by doing this, you know, so I can go over here. You know, I can drag it back and forth. That's about the other way. There's another way. You can assign a different switch, and it kind of works, or it tries to work, but it's. I'm not sure about it, to be honest. You know, I don't have an H-shaped handle of any kind. What would be ideal is if I could use 2 or 3 handles or something. But then, like I said, that would mess me up for the hot start. That works. That looks even, that looks even. No. For proper reversing. Oh, yeah. No, you gotta... Well, the way I've done it, I've set it up sort of similar to the hot start. My throttle right now is all the way back. And so I hit a switch which turns on reverse thrust, and it's just a normal reverse thrust. I hit that, and then then it moves it back. You move the throttle forward, and the throttle handle in the airplane moves back. So it's normal, actually. It's the way most, you know, it's the way all the jets work. But you know, it's not like the hot start. I don't necessarily like the way the hot start does it. I wish it would do the same thing as all the other airplanes, but that's what they chose. So, let's see. I rudely interrupted myself. Let's see. Amps are... Why does amps say 0? Amp still says 0. My generators aren't working. Amp says 0. Amp still says 0. Okay, so let's see, starter ignition, NOx BP. I will turn this on. Turn that on too while I'm at it. I don't believe this works. And then turn the bleed on. And where's the air conditioning? Someplace else. There it is. It's already on, actually. I've noticed that the checklist that real-world pilots use is a little different than we use for the hot start, but I could modify that. I could modify that checklist, and I may. Okay, so apparently this gauge is broken. That says 0, but this is actually up here in the green. So that means it's below 80, so I'm okay to take off. Okay, and so flight plan. Let's see if we can do a flight plan. It's surprising, this is a real short flight, but this is actually a little bit of a flight plan. Okay, so go to flight plan. Bring it. Okay, so there's flight plan. Add en route waypoint. UG633. No, Kebet. K-E-B-E-T. Enter. Alright, that worked. And then I'm just going to do direct KMLY. See, is that already on there? KMLY. Okay, no, I'm just going to go MLY. I'm not going to go the airway. Alright, and then MLY. Enter. Alright, and then I've got to do a, let's see, let's go back. Let's do a proc, departure, and we want the, I lost it. God, lost it. The Mara 1N. Alright, Mara 1N. No, that's the Kano 1N. Mara 1N, and we want to go to Marat. Alright, so let me do transition none, and departures runway 18, that's fine. I can load that, and let's go back to flight plan. No, I want to go home, and then I want to go flight plan. Okay, to Marat, and then to Kebet. Yep, that's right. Alright, and then let's go home again and see if this knob works. So I go like that, and this is weird, right? That's the whole flight right there. So it's not awful. Let's go home. Need Avatab and Navigraph to work in 2020. Yeah, we do. Honestly, I wouldn't think that we'd see that for a year. I just want them to fix bugs in their system. But let's see, we're heading west, so I'm going to say altitude. I'm going to say 4,000. And what is my final altitude? It was kind of a pretty flight to come in. Altitude, it says flight level 280 to Kebet and then to 270, which is weird. Okay. Fuel, I need 1,086, so it's 108. I need 1,600 pounds. 160 gallons. So I've got to actually add some fuel. Fuel. My last flight, I ran out of gas halfway there. I tried to use the same profile as a Citation X, and it didn't work. So this says airtime is almost an hour. Wow, I didn't think it'd be that far. And we're going 280, heading. Okay, so 280. See, do you have this, Bill? Bill, do you have FS 2020? Because I don't know if it's a workaround or they intended it this way, but if you move your mouse wheel, it rotates at 10 degrees. If you click next to the knob, then it changes at 2 degrees. I've been using the Cessna 172 with autopilot issues with the mouse affecting vertical speed when on the camera menu. Really? That's weird. All things. I find that I have to click a lot of buttons twice to get him to, not in the airplane so much, but there's just some weird behaviors with double things. Like this is my straight ahead, view for taking off. But then if I click it again, it goes back to some other view, and then I click it again, it comes back and forth like this. I don't. That's annoying, and I don't like these tooltips. Get rid of those things. All right, so am I ready to go? Let me sort of mentally walk through the checklist here. Flaps. Well, we'll do that when we taxi out. See, there it does it again. And I have to. The click spots are decent. I like those, but I can't use my friggin' controllers. And I've heard that if you get FSU IPC or something like that, it kills your frame rate. So park and brake. How do I take the park and brake off? There's got to be a way to do it. No. I'm sure there's a keystroke for it. I just don't know what it is. It used to be period or shift period. Maybe that was it. Shift period. I don't know what that does. Anyway, one thing that bothers me are all these alpha and beta testers never seem to have issues. I think a lot of them were couldn't say anything because of the NDA. Oops, sorry. They look so real, I feel like I need to apologize. Yeah, I have a lot more throttle to play with in this one because they didn't shorten my throttle thing. Alright, so I'm entering the runway. My strobes are on. And I'm just going to back taxi and go. God, that looks good. Wow. Alright. Lights. Icing. Flaps. Oh, wrong switch. Flaps. Transponder. Where's the transponder? Navcom. Why does that say 7,000? Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's the transponder. It says, okay, so that's my code. So let's change it to 2000. Enter. And we're on alt mode. Okay. I can live with that. It looks like a hot day here, a hot and hazy day here in Haiti. Yeah, for a long time they were all bound by the NDA. They couldn't say anything, and then only towards the end could they say something. And yeah, so I'm a little put off by this close-in view. But if I don't get really close, I can't see these tiny little fonts. You know, so there's a bug there that, you know, that says 0, but it's actually here. Not a showstopper. These fonts are really small. But we'll see how it goes. It's pretty. I like the way this runway undulates. There's things to love and things to hate about it, to be honest. Things to get really frustrated about. I was really frustrated with the Sovereign this morning. So far, this seems to have less bugs. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I have to do that. If I have to use the brakes to turn. In the Sovereign, or in the longitude, I had to, but I adjusted it. The problem with that is that while it worked when I was taxiing, when I was going down the runway, my rudder was extremely sensitive. Like an eighth of an inch of pedal had a lot of authority. And when you're at high speed, you lose. Come on, wake up. Wait a second. Let me do something. I think my display froze. Hold on. I'm gonna have to replace this friggin' display. I hate to do it. Yeah, my display froze on me. Alright. It's a 4K TV. It keeps doing this. So that's how tight it turns. It's got a nice feel to it. Certainly I'm gonna line up here. Yeah, I do want to back this up a little bit. Let's see, so if I do that. Alright, and then let's go forward. That might be good enough. Alright, so now Control Alt 8. We'll try that. Alright. Wait, there was something else I needed to do, right? Was there? Yes. Why can't I? Okay, here we go. I have 1 hour in one in HDMI and one in DVI running 1080 only. Yeah. See, that's about 1/8 of an inch of play right there. Yeah, it's just very, very, very sensitive. Gear up. 115. Flaps up. There's my yaw damper. Look at that. I mean, you could just get mesmerized by it. Aren't they? Just beautiful. I want to see if Toga works. I don't have a way to click Toga with a button. They don't have a command for that. You just have to click the in-cockpit button. Now, if I were a pilot and I was looking at a cloud like that, I'd stay below it. I'd watch for downdraft and I'd just stay below it. But wow, this is pretty. So let's click on nav. There's no wind option. Hard to see the knobs in the dark. Oops. I overshot my altitude. And it looks like my flight director shut off. That's because I don't have a altitude. There it goes. Alright, so let's get this show on the road. So where's the flight director? Look at that. I hope they don't hate me for going around that cloud. Does FLC work? We're about to find out. I want to know why there's no flight director right now. I'm in DS mode. I've got an altitude dialed in. Well, I was in DS mode. Alright, so let's do FLC. Flight director's gone. There it is. Alright, autopilot. Well, if FLC works, where is it? Wow. It's going up to 280. Question is does VNav work? And I doubt it does. I may have to do this manually. And I don't see where I can put, whether radar doesn't work in this airplane, or if it does, it works someplace else. Map range. Let's go over here. FMS, bearing, speed bug, timers, PFD settings, wind, option 2, and that's it. Let's go back. So it looks like FLC is working. It is it turned on? There it is. So like I said, sometimes I have to click things twice. And I can shut the inertial separator off. Now let's watch and see what happens over here. It is going up. Yeah. Come on. I mean, you get a sense for the fact that this is much blurrier than the hot start, because you can very precisely set your throttle. You need to in the hot start because the throttle has a very short throw to it. But so far, this airplane has had fewer bugs than most of the others. Apart from the generator, you know, that's a bug. That, or my airplane's in serious trouble right now. Yeah, the type is something up. I mean, I've tried running this in 4K and it just looks worse. I mean, everything looks worse in 4K. I don't know, maybe there's something wrong, something I've got to do, shut it down, restart it or something. But Not sure. So, am I on 299 or 2? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. And you really have to set that. This should you be able to click the middle, I think. Yeah, this one's, you know, and I liked it. I really enjoyed playing the Cessna though too. But the FMS was, I wasn't even gonna go there. It was all, you know, first thing I clicked, it looked awful, and I said, you know, I'm not doing that. So just do it the old-fashioned way. That's right. VOR, getting clever with stuff. Oh, really? 1080s? Yeah, 2K is fine too. This one's 2K, but this one's 2K, but it looks like everything's smaller or something. Like they need to widen this out a little bit and make all this stuff a little bigger. I think they crunched it down too much. And there's no compass around the airplane, and there's no way that you can put heading up. You have to put it is what it is. Yeah, see, it says north up right there. But if I click map settings, nothing happens. That's what we're about to find out. Let's see, so what runway are we going to land on over there? Come on. Runway 30. Pressurization? Okay, so that's news. Why isn't pressurization work? Bleeds on. AC is on. Let's just turn it on here. Does that help? That does seem to be helping. So much for auto, huh? It's only helping a little. Differential pressure is 7. What's that say? That says norm. Well, we're just gonna fly like this then, I guess. Another bug. Yeah, I've got to look at the approach into 30. Okay, so which means it's MKJP. Yeah, let's look at the charts. No charts. I don't have any charts for Kingston, Jamaica. Okay, so I'm going to say I don't know. I don't actually think that air conditioner fan. Oh, it does work. LFE. It didn't set the LFE. And I don't think there's a way to set the LFE either. And I don't think there's any way to take control over pressurization. Here, I thought this was going to be okay. Don't forget. Yeah, but first I've got to set a fix. So let's go to flight plan, and we'll come down here to... I don't have any charts. No charts. So, what's the weather like there? Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good. So 200 at 5. So what I'm going to do is, there's my flight plan. I'm going to put 2,000 feet here. So now it's blue. I don't think it's going to work. Probably not. If it wasn't for the scenery, I don't think I would. Rate foot per minute is 499. I'd wait for them to fix this thing. See, there's nothing VNAV here. You know, there's no way to set an offset. There's no way to do a descent now. There's nothing in here about VNAV. So I think the VNAV button works, but even, you know, if I set a lower altitude, like if I do this, notice it doesn't go in here. I can click VNAV and it's on, but there's no altitude here. So I think that's a waste of time. So we gotta lose, my altitude is 24,800. Oh, my altitude is 28,000. I gotta lose 26,000 times 3 is 75. 78 miles. We gotta descend 78 miles. And the only way to determine 78 miles is to dial in their nice little VOR of 113.3. So, COM 1, COM 2. There's no nav frequencies. It just gets better and better. Hold on. Nav 1. And then go PFD. Bearing 1. So when that hits about 80 miles, at about 80 miles I start my descent. Definitely it was sold for the scenery, no doubt it was. And that's why everybody's flying it, because you can fly anywhere without doing anything. You want to fly in Antarctica, if you want to fly in New Zealand, Vietnam, North Korea, Egypt, Zimbabwe. You don't have to do anything. You just load it up and go. So to me, this is, at this point, it's about 90% low and slow. Yeah, I am too. I'm trying to be realistic about this. At least I'm trying to, right? You try to be objective, you never are. But it's, I think it's about 90% low and slow, and it's beautiful for that. You know, if you don't have a nav system in the airplane, you'd never know there was a problem. But all the nav systems are borked. All the ones that I've run across, they're all borked in some ways. And you know, I don't know how critical to be about it, to be honest, because quite honestly, if I compare this to how X-Plane comes out of the box, well, the thing that X-Plane has is it has a GNS 530 and a G1000. So, okay, X-Plane did something much better there. They're supporting the GA market, even if it's taken a while for the GA market to catch up to that. You know, the G1000, you know, I mean, and it's not perfect. They still need to work on the keyboard implementation, but you know, the TBM is brilliant. That new, I bet that new SR22 is brilliant. I don't have it. There are some okay G1000 airplanes, and there's a new Falcon coming out, and the Challenger coming out. Yeah, me too. I've got that King Air too, and I don't fly it because I just can't stand to take that long to start up an airplane and get it going. You know, if I all of a sudden come across a whole bunch of patience in my back pocket, I will, you know, I'll start flying it. So we're going to land on 3-0. I'm going to set up, I'll probably try to set up about 10-mile final. I don't know, let's see, so this is 50 nautical miles right here. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Oh, gotta click that. That ought to do for now. Interesting turbulence feel right there, though. So yeah, you just got accepted for being great for flying through the mountains, you know, doing some bush flying somewhere, sightseeing, going to places you've never been before, and it's absolutely friggin' stunning at that. Beautiful water, and then hopefully the same thing will happen to it in some ways that happened to FSX. People will keep it around and keep working on it and working on it and working on it. The downside to FSX is that it's never had decent GA airplanes. Never. It's rare to have, like there was the Real Air airplanes. Some people like the A2A airplanes. You know, but if you think about the A2A airplanes, the only reason, well, I mean, if you like those, and the only one I liked was the Comanche. Remember that their nav systems, the Comanches was over here if I recall, most of those nav systems were, you know, the 750, which is not available on this. Yeah, virtual vacations, yep. You know, your own little National Geographic channel. but I get a much bigger sense of being up in the air in this sim. You know, even if I'm flying high, as long as I'm not trying to navigate someplace. You know, and like that looks just much more real to me right now, to be honest. And there's lots of things, you know, I could be super critical. There are things I can be critical about, but that looks better. Now I'm probably going to do an X-plane flight either tonight or tomorrow. And that'll be interesting because it'll really be my first X-plane flight since I got this thing. And then, you know, without even talking about all the little things that you can't do. You can't open the door in this airplane at all. You know, that's little stuff. I haven't checked the de-ice. I assume it works. Can't tell. Oh, they actually did animate that quite nicely. Did you see that? See that? Yeah, right. I guess. I think fluff is a little bit, maybe a little bit harsh, but I agree wholly, 100%. You know, and if you're flying big airliners, then prepare 3D. I would not do GA and prepare 3D. Unless it's that DA62 that they made. Which I have tons of questions about that. But the DA62 I've got in X-plane is really good. But I mean, that just looks real. A little bit aqua. You know, the color's a little bit off right there, but I can forgive that. A little bit, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I hope so. If they keep doing turnovers, keep fixing things. I think it'll take a while to get these nav systems fixed, though. I do hope and pray that they do fix it. That's where I'm supposed to be. The hot start's worth it. So there we are. How many miles? 129. The rate of descent should be around 1,500, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I could put out a long list of little items that are bugs, little items that are sort of like, well, it should do this, you know, a long list of that. I was saying to somebody else that, you know, for big iron, once PMDG and Aerosoft gets over here, that the flights across the water won't be nearly as boring because it looks so much better. You know, you fly across the ocean and that looks good. Just looks really, really good. Well, that's good to hear. I'd like to try a multiplayer. I've got AI shut completely off for my frame rate's sake. As I've heard it's a frame rate killer. Anything connected to Sim Connect is a frame rate killer. Something else. There's a few things that are just, you just shut them off and forget about it. And so I'm running ultra settings. Aha! You're late. Yeah, well, you know, you never knew when I was actually, it was going to be a surprise. You know, we're still, you can see where Kingston is, or Kingston. We're going to start our descent in about 10 minutes or so. So yeah, this is it'll be interesting if X-Plane ever gets clouds like that. And Bill, did you see the water when I was flying up the coast in the TBM the other day? I think it was the TBM. Watch this. Watch right there. See that? De-icing boots. It looks amazing. It's a lot different than Hot Starts. Hot Starts does do the animation. My hat's off to that, but it doesn't look nearly as good. So I don't have any approach maps at all for Kingston, Jamaica, so it's going to be a visual approach all the way. So I'll turn my course. Oh, I can't. Wait, why can't I turn that? Oh, I can't, because that's a bearing pointer. Yeah, they do. They look extremely good. I'm running full reflections at the moment. That's one thing that I might turn down at some point. You know, because if I do turn AI on, or I'm on VATSIM, this thing's not ready for VATSIM at all. I don't know how busy are they in VATSIM. I doubt they're very busy, because everybody's flying this. Well, yeah, it's down. Well, no, actually, they're quite busy. If it's down, it's not down by much. Yeah, I mean, low and slow is just beautiful. I mean, it's made for Orbix airports, if you buy airports. Me too. I've got Navigraph as well. Do the same thing. Yeah, I figure they rushed this simulator out. That a Christmas time release would have given them more time to fix bugs. I just hope they sold a lot of it. Yeah, Hot Start does. I never use that though, because I want to see the FMS. If I was flying in the real world, I'd have an iPad. I wouldn't use the charts that they provide on the MFD. The sound of this engine is much different. You can actually hear the prop. I don't know if you can hear that, but on the hot start you really can't hear the prop. You hear the engine. So this is interesting. Why is that pointing over there? Do I have the right VOR? I'm sure I do. Just make sure I'm not being a bonehead here. 113.3. Nav 1, and it's pointing almost north. It should be pointing straight ahead. Unless I'm pointing in the wrong place. I am pointing in the wrong place. 115.5 it should be. Navcom. I may have screwed up here. We'll see. How do I do this? I forgot already. 1155 transfer. Alright, let's go home. Oh, actually, I figured it out just in time. Alright, I'll go ahead and start my descent. Let's go down. BS down 1,500 feet per minute. And we're going to go all the way down. You know, I'll try to a certain. I'll try to do a good landing. How's that? It's going to be a visual landing. I'll just set up on about a 7 or 8 mile final. That should do it. Yeah, I have Discord. It's shoo. I have not paid any attention. I'll have to put a link. What plane is this? This is a TBM 900. No, 930. Let me show you what it looks like. Can I put on headphones? Nope. They don't have that. Fly around Jamaica. How much gas do I have? I still got some gas. We could do a little bit of flying around Jamaica. It's got some mountains. See, there's two major airports. Let me get this out of the way. There's one here, and I think there's one up here somewhere. But somewhere. Yeah. It's up here. Oh, you did. That's exactly what Bill and I have been talking about, that it is a great VFR sim. Any other sim or any other kind of flying, you gotta give it some help. It needs help. You know, you have to do things the old-fashioned way. You know, manual descent calculations, which isn't bad, you know, and playing VOR to VOR or NDB to NDB. But I don't think it's ready for a bad sim at all. So Bill's saying I should fly around Jamaica for, his name's not Marcia, but he's this guy for Marcia. I don't remember what his name is. Something unusual. But we'll call him Marcia for the moment. Mr. DeCray. He apparently lives or he's from Jamaica. So if let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe I'll just circle this whole area right here, because, you know, I can come down and I'll just go heading mode and we'll make a left turn here. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried the airliners in it, but if the nav systems in those things are like the nav systems in the GA airplanes. But, you know, part of me wants to say that this airplane, you know, this sim right now isn't made for simmers. I mean, it's made for people that want to go up and fly. I'm not going to say they're da Cress. Gotcha. Mr. Da Cress. Your name from henceforth is Mr. Da Cress. Hey, Andy. Andy, where are you from? Saying howdy. Say it like you're saying bakers. Docress. Docris? Docris? I don't care. The airliners aren't good because I'm enjoying the VFR with the GA planes. Which ones are you flying, pilot guy? New Hampshire. Yeah, you can say howdy anywhere. New Hampshire. So I'm going to circle around this. I think I've got the fuel to do it. Milford, Pennsylvania here. So Milford, Pennsylvania. And pilot guys from Portugal. And I'm in North Carolina. We've got another guy from Brazil. And he's not on right now. And another guy from San Diego. And a guy from Norway. Way up from Norway. So I can switch to nav 1 and I can just go course 300. No. That'll work. Oh wait, a little bit off. That's about runway heading. Should fly up there, yeah I should. There's so many places to fly. Yeah. Mr. Docris wanted us to fly here. So we're flying, this was his request. And you know, stupid me, you know, I was, somebody got on me about not knowing anything about Brazil. They were kidding, of course. I usually know know geography pretty well, but I flew into Haiti instead of flying into Jamaica this morning by accident. Because my geography of the Caribbean is obviously wanting. It's embarrassing. But it was pretty. Well, you know, and karma was out because I got to a mile final and it crashed. I mean, the sim crashed, not the airplane. Let's see, we're 12,000 feet, we're 214 knots. I think I've already got my lights on. Yep. And what did I say the altimeter was? I bet you it's 1010, which I think is 2984. It's right close to that. I should probably stop my descent soon. Where are we? I'm going to turn right. So the airport is straight ahead up here. And we'll just go around this great big mountain. Central America, and then to Brazil. South legs from flight to flight from like. Yeah, I could. We were talking this morning about doing a long haul flight from Brazil up to the U.S. But yeah, if I went down, get down to Houston and kept going south and went down Mexico. I think I'll probably wait on doing stuff like that unless it's a long haul, because then I don't have to fart with the navigation much until I get to until they put some patches into this thing. Because obviously this is 1.0. Okay, I'm gonna stop my descent. I think I'd be okay at 6,000. I think. So I'm going to stop it at 6,000. All right, let's look outside because, we can't. Is that photo real? Maybe. This is photo real, no doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if there were clouds some places, that they just covered it with like a Photoshop texture. How's our speed? 200. There we go, there's the airport. So we'll go around and come back to the airport. Looks nothing like Jamaica, really? Hold on, let's take a look here. I mean, a critical eye is a good thing. Yeah, I'm gonna fly into MKJP, but I'll do a little bit of flying out here. Okay, so we are flying over the VOR right now. I'll drop down. I'll go down to, say, 4,000. And we'll turn right a bit. so we can get a look. Oh, we're already here. You pulled the charts up? Oh, you've got the charts? I don't have any charts. I tried to bring them up, they wouldn't come up. Oh wait, now I've got some charts. They've got an R now. Okay, I'm gonna make a right turn. We can. One thing to do is use Google Maps as a chart on iPad and follow the roads. Other remarks to your destination of the sim. Kind of like VFR flying, but with maps instead of a VFR chart. Yeah. No, with Navigraph. Yeah, I've got it up in Navigraph. A while ago, it wouldn't give me any charts. Hey, Lucas, we've been talking about you. Yeah, probably 3-0. I don't think it matters. There's a 5-knot wind. 200 at 5. So it's really a crosswind. What do they have for 1-2? They got an ILS to 1-2. We could do 1-2. I just want to. I'm going to make a turn here. Let's go here. Let's go over the city. Here we go. So got lots of gas. So that doesn't look like Jamaica? Come on. You're messing with me. I mean, it looks believable for someone that's never been there, but, you know, I can't say. Better look outside and see what I'm about to fly into, huh? Definitely looks believable. So yeah, I'll probably land 1-2. I can figure it out. program the friggin' ILS. 109.1. Navcom 1091. Transfer. And let's go home. We want to set our course to 123. I'm on nav 1. Well, if I click it, oh, well, let me turn it because it's already, okay, seems to have done it all by itself. I have to see if it, yep, and it's got the ID, and what's our minimum? It's 278, and I believe there's a way to set the minimums. 278. Enter. Oh, it switched back to 0. 278. Enter. 278. Look at all this stuff up here. And let's see, I can shut that off, right? And bearing 1. Shut that off. Let's see now. Okay, so I'll probably get myself in a little bit of a pickle here. Oh. I'll stay at 4,000. I want to go left. Oh, this that frame rate counter is yeah, from NVIDIA and NVIDIA GeForce Experience. That's what it is. So there's some houses down in there. You can see them down in the trees. I don't know where Mr. Dockery went. Let's see, what is our I shut that off. Bearing no. Nav 1. IMLY. I was hoping we would have DME. Alright, I will make a left here. A lot of little houses down in those trees. Over there. I don't know. Probably drove over that mountain there to my left. I don't know which mountain. I'm looking all over the place. So I'm below the glide slope. There's the course. I mean, it looks believable. I'd be disappointed if they, you know, made Jamaica and they didn't make it look real. I mean, I flew up to Norway in this thing, and I think Charpentier said that it looked. Didn't you say it looked really good? It looked really good. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm going to try not to overshoot the ILS, but I'm guessing here. I've got, well, if I do this, I forget that I've got this thing, MFD, proc, approach, MKV, POR, DME, ILS 1-2, load. Oh, alright, so zoom in. Let's turn left. I may overshoot. Oh, but my altitude, what? Well, actually it says my altitude is okay, which would be weird. Well, no, that is. Never went to Norway. Never went to Norway. Then I was talking to somebody else. Charpentier, where do you live? Let's click the approach. And let's get flaps 1. Nope, not yet. Approach is armed. Localizers captured. I flew over some places that I've flown over in real life to compare it. I think it's pretty impressive and realistic. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from most places, though I have heard some people say that there are some places where it just doesn't do very good. So this is, you know, that's right, you live up in Montreal. So we should do a flight through France, right? We will see how this handles compared to the hot start. Fly down the ILS. See, I can't really read my friggin' torque. See, I'm at 34, that's perfect. So I got the heading bug. Where are you going? Whoa, 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 whoa. Autopilot disengaged. So it doesn't have the glide slope. Why not? There we go. 128 on the torque. Much faster. 147 down final? I don't think so. I'm going to go 20 torque. I'm following the flight director, and the flight director, I've still got approach engaged. For whatever reason, the flight director has not given me valid instructions. So it's bouncing all over the place. I must be low. The only way I can tell if I'm low is because it's closer to this dot than to that dot. There's no line here at all. Very disconcerting. Go ahead and put on my last notch of flaps. I'm low. I know. Well, it says I'm right, of course, but look at where the runway is. This is not an LDA approach. Power settings are different. Some. Pilot guy, have you tried the TBM in this sim? Power settings are definitely different. Yeah, it's VREF is like 85. curious what your thoughts are. I mean, I've got 43 torque right now, and I'm floating at 85. The ILS is definitely off. It says I'm low. This must have a high approach. Because that feels a little high right there, and it says I'm low. It's pretty though. Look at that approach. Okay, so now I'm high. But my torque is definitely different. God, this feels so slow. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is to this. I have to use tiny little motions on my on my rudder. God, that seems so slow. I could have made that taxiway. I wasn't paying attention. I mean, did that seem really ridiculously slow to you guys? Thanks, Lucas. See, now I'm gonna go fly that hot start, and I'm gonna feel like I'm like burning up the sky at 85 knots. Alright, so lights. I can shut the strobes off. Icing. Flaps. Up. Transponder should be okay, and that's it. Takes a lot to get the airplane rolling. Was that butter for you, Mr. Docris? I'll get this right. Docris. Just call you Docris. Now those must be static airplanes because they've got AI shut off because of the frame rate hit. But right here, I'm sitting here with 30 frames. And it's smooth as glass. Wow, man, this is pretty. So this does not look like Jamaica to you? Yeah, it doesn't, but his name's not Marsha. He's just using Marsha's computer. Or Marsha's YouTube account, anyway. Docris. I'll just call you Docris. Not out of disrespect, simply because it's easier. It's there in front of our face. And your first name is so unusual, I don't think I'll remember it. I'm just taxiing around because I'm enjoying it. Oh my god. That's a true story. I was just taxiing, looking at this going, wow, this is just so pretty. I'll just keep taxiing around for a while. I'm going to taxi over by these trees. You know, in X-Plane, I don't think a thing about the trees. I don't think one thing about them. You know, they're there. They're not ugly, they're not pretty, they're not anything. They're just sort of taking up space, giving shape to something. But here, I look at those trees and go, wow, that looks nice. Call him Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. I think that might piss him off. Park here by this lovely King Air. King Air with square windows. Yeah. Where's my marshaller? Shouldn't I have a marshaller? Maybe we'll get marshaller sometime soon. Alright, so park and brake on. And PFD timer. That was timer. That was not timer. This is how bad I can read that. I don't know if you guys can read it any better than me. PFD timers start. So really I should do that just like the other TBM. And we can shut off our taxi light. And that stuff stays on. And that stuff, this is off. Yeah, and the trim still works. 1.0, folks. Say it with me. 1.0. Alright, so I was gonna transponder. Let's see, so transponder. No, not ident. We want to go standby. See, now my flows are all messed up because I always go left to right. So I've got my inertial separator off already because I screwed up and didn't turn it back on. My air conditioner, I can shut that off. Come over here and bleeds off, fine. And that's good, that's good, that's good. And see if our 2 minutes is up. Getting close. But see, I didn't have it at ground or at idle, so I've got to start over. Restart, start. While it's cooling off, we'll go look outside. Let's see, make sure my trims are set. Can't hardly see them. Rudder trim. I don't think I set my rudder trim here. Well, it's just not going to get set because I've got to set that on my yoke. And I don't think there's a switch in here to do that, is there? It's on the yoke. It doesn't work. Yes, it does. All right. And so that means I can shut this off. So let's look outside. because we're in Jamaica. Oh. Oh, that's right. I've got to use the keys for that. Docris, so does this doesn't look like it, right? I can see cars moving through the trees over here. Wow, did you see that? That bus went up in the air, or whatever it is. Look at the water. Dear Lord, that looks pretty. I keep trying to use my mouse to move. Whoa, hello. When am I on again? Oh, my guess is tomorrow morning. I'm gonna take a break and take care of some things. See if my kids are hungry. And probably tomorrow. I don't think I'll be doing any more tonight. Spend the night here in Jamaica. Probably, I'm usually on around 10 or so. So if you want to look then, and then if I have the time, I'll play tomorrow night. So I've got Monday and Tuesday off, so I might do some flying then too. Let's see, if I go like this, drone speed gajillion, and then I go, how do I go forward? Nope, not like that. Nope, that's rotating. So that works. I think I do W, yep. That's a fast drone. Man, they drive crazy here. Well, it's something. So we got to figure out where we want to fly tomorrow. There's so many places to fly. I mean, just pick one, right? I know I've got a few in my list. Could do New Hampshire, right? Could do New Hampshire. Maybe, what's that airport up in Maine? Well, that little one. I'll look it up. It's that Orbix one. Or I could fly from Nantucket up to New Hampshire. See what Nantucket looks like. How did I make myself go up? Oh, that's right, R. I don't know. It looks realistic to me, but maybe not. But, yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. I will see you, if you're on tomorrow morning, I'll see you then. If not, it'll be soon. All right. Thanks for joining in.